Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome
Good morning.
in to another episode
Welcome.
of Good Morning Nasdaq right here on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. It's a beautiful day. Well, not quite. It's a little bit sprinkly out there in the Midwest. Looks a little sunnier over by Huddie, so he'll be getting my sprinkles here in the next day or so. And good morning. It is the first day of May. Everybody, snap along. We've done it. We've gotten through another month. We are officially 1/3 of the way done with the year. Do you have the numbers that you want? Are you at an area where if you times it by 3, you'd be happy with that yearly number? If the answer is no, we got to work harder. We got to do our monthly reviews. We got to go through our stats. We got to figure out where our mistakes are. And we got to get back on track. Huddy's been getting back on track as of late. He has a green on a technicality week, so clap along for that as well. How are we doing this morning,
Yeah.
Huddy?
We're in a position that could take away the green week, but we can never take away the green week
Hey,
from the
you
stats.
can't take the green week away. It's
You
locked
can't take it
in.
away from April. You can only add it to May.
Yep, it's locked in.
So,
Uh,
but we push on. We push on. We just because we had a green week doesn't mean we're not going to treat the market any different. Doesn't mean we're going to lower it. We're actually going to increase our size just a little bit and keep pushing because market feels right with opportunities right now, and it has felt that way for me at least for a week, for 5 days. So gonna keep doing what I've been doing and pray for the best. And when the worst happens, just get the F out and go to the gym. Forget that it happens.
yeah. I'm trying. I had a thought, and then you said one more thing, and then I forgot my thought. Um, oh, I won't be increasing size this month. Oh, I guess I'll wait for my monthly recap, but it will be. I'll wait another month. I had my biggest month of the year, which is kind of weird to not like increase after that because my goal is to keep increasing throughout the year, but I just didn't like the way I've been trading. Besides like 3 trades, so I'm still in timeout. I'm gonna treat May. May is fresh. Everyone's break even on the month. We all start in the same place, right? So that's exciting. Sly Cosign's in here. Simon's in here. Sandre, Wayne, of course. Wayne is celebrating 38 years of marriage today. Clap along for Wayne. That is incredible. That's amazing. Roz says, Dom, happy birthday month. I'm with you. May 14th. We'll remember that, Roz. Yep, mine's at the end of the month. I got some goals I want to accomplish by then. Um, I'm just happy to be here in May. There was a moment I didn't know if I'd get to another birthday. So we're happy to be in May, aren't we, Huddy?
It was great. Oh,
We're
it's your birthday
grateful.
month.
Birthday month. Um, all right, we got some questions coming in. Don't be afraid to get your questions in there. We will get to them once we run through the gappers. We'll be closing down right around 9:15 as we do have a webinar for all the 4-leaf and black clovers out there. You got me and Huddy this morning at 9:15 to 10:15. Little market open Webby live traded. All of our webinars are live trading because the other time slot is 11. But if you know anything about Huddy, Kyle, or myself, we're usually not clicking a whole bunch of buttons at 11. So bring your questions for that. If you want to have access to that, you can always join over at clovertrading.io. Get yourself signed up for 4-leaf or black clover, and you'll have access to multiple webinars a week, all of our video lessons, and everything that comes along with 3-leaf. Interesting question regarding the technicality. Matthew says, Dom, are you going to count the CEP trade as an April gain since the trade was taken in April? So the way I will do it, at the end of every day, whatever my realized P&L is, it goes on that day. So the realized P&L from CEP yesterday will go in April. The realized P&L from today on CEP will go
Months
into
for both
May.
months.
So
That's
it's a
crazy.
technicality of it's a little bit of helpful in both departments, huh?
Huh?
A
Well,
little Wednesday,
go figure.
Thursday splitterooski. All right. We got a one big gapper today, up 130%. Oh, we got another one sneaking in at 80% right now. Let's start, though, with NVNI, just because I think it's a cool gapper. Sometimes we have, your traditional up 100, 200% out of nowhere. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out the catalyst. Then you have others that are recent runners and going on multi-day runs, but also doing it in the form of big gap ups. We closed yesterday in the 40s on MVNI. We're up in the 70s right now. I know Don Juan was all over it in the room. Someone asked about it last night. You can always, if you're in the room, Don Juan is he starts his production at like 4 p.m. Eastern, and they're usually in there. All those guys talking from 4 p.m. to 8, talking about the gappers overnight. I know they nailed this one. I think Don said he left some on the table, but Really nice gapper today. Does this interest you at all, Huddy? After our conversations yesterday about the whole overextended gap up and how much we don't like taking losses for no reason when it's not going to go red. What's the number? We're up 56% where you're like, this is kind of in the middle between an overextended gap up and a gap and crap.
Um, I don't think I don't think I'm really big on the idea of just like making up a number and seeing how it goes. I think
Data.
for me on this one, I feel like the closer to one, the more I think one's gonna act as resistance. And it might not be a perfect science up there, but that's kind of like the ballpark that I want to see this stock at if I'm gonna short it today. Um, Now it can either gap up there or it can run there. If it opens at 70 and runs to one, I think that's also interesting. That's more of like a parabolic than just a gap and crap. But essentially, the more this gaps up, the more I think it's going to fail. For now, I really like where it is right now. I don't want anything to do with
Intriguing nonetheless. Also something to note. I think this is the second kind of lower price gapper. Not, AGMH was a lot lower priced, but some things working a little bit. Overall market's kind of steadied the ship. Hasn't really, I feel like, bled its way down into small caps. I feel like a lot of them have still been getting hit quite hard. We haven't had a ton of gappers, but the overnight play, maybe something to take a look at, something to peep. Okay, the biggest gapper of the day, though, before we do that, I don't think I asked you guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. 29 likes right now. Let's get that number up towards 50. Let's get that number up towards 50. Got 86 of you in here right now. Appreciate every single one of you. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 7,000 subscribers. Let's make it by my birthday. And if we get it by my birthday, we'll give away 2 tickets to our upcoming all-day webinar, which you guys don't know about yet, but it'll be after that. So get us to 7K if you want a raffle. And I know you guys want raffles. All right. Where are we at? Biggest gapper.
God, we haven't spun the wheel in so long.
I want to spin that wheel. If you guys want us to spin that wheel, tell everyone you know. Go on other people's phones. Hit subscribe on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. All right. Biggest gapper of the day is ZCAR, or in layman's terms, ZCAR. If I could type. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? No. They probably heard it, but not you. Now I lost my Z car. That was a good song. Philip Phillips. Boom. And this needs to go there. Zoom Car Holdings. What do we got here? Is this real? 490K float in the auto and truck dealership company industry out of India. They
just did a reverse split, a 20 for 1.
Okay, reverse split. Do you see any catalyst besides that?
Not really.
I don't see any catalyst. I see that they have 9 months of cash left. Dilution tracker says offering ability is low. Do you see anything else in there that they might have been missing? I don't see anything. Got a bunch of pending effect things.
Yeah, so those things can become effective. That's from recent months. So that is there, but it's not necessarily dilutive just yet. But a press release could come out at any moment. They have some warrants at lower prices than where the stock is. I see that there's some warrants in the $6 areas. So that should be known. And it's a low float. So, it can really do anything. They can either crush this thing to hell or they can spike it to heaven.
Hi, Evans.
Whichever one. I don't know which one they're going to do.
Was this one that we have seen before?
Yeah, kind of. It's come, it's gone.
Taking a look. Looks like I had a run at the end of last year. A couple of them. Has been really in this downtrend, though, getting beat up. Now, obviously, super low float, higher priced than what it was. Basing around $4, gapping up close to 10 right now. Kind of a fresh looking chart, if you ask me, with its newly low float. All the recent resistance is kind of far away, over 100% away. I haven't had one of these in a minute, I feel like, at least in like a week, but got popping at 8 a.m. has really done a good job of holding up near the highs, low around $8. And I kind of bounced between 8 and 10. I guess the only question I really comes up with is like when we start to get gappers again, or we start to get lower float ones like this, are they going to squeeze or are they going to fail? We don't have a lot of history recently of that in the last few days. People do have a goldfish memory, I feel like, when it comes to gappers, and it's all or nothing on the day or two in a row with how they're working. But interested to see what the market does with this opportunity. Up over 100% right now. Does this low float squeeze out and go 10 to 15? Does it fail to spike in the morning and fade off a lot? What will May be in the world of gap and crappers, right? Huddie, we don't know until May is over what kind of month it's going to be. But I don't have a ton of thoughts here. It's kind of a fresh chart. I could see it running a lot, and I could see it going nowhere, which is how I feel about a lot of gappers.
I'm gonna hope that. I mean, look, what I say here means nothing, but I'm gonna hope that this one fails because the other one we're about to talk about, I think, is not gonna fail.
Okay. We have
I have
hope.
thoughts on it. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna be right or wrong at all. Like I have no idea which one's gonna work and which one's not gonna work, but the other one has some precedence.
All right, let's move over to that precedence. Is that KIDZ?
Yeah.
KIDZ, which is Class Over Holdings Education and Training Services, with an 8.29 million float. They are rapidly emerging as a leader in the educational technology, specializing in live online courses for K through 12 students worldwide. 33 minutes ago, they entered into a 400 million equity purchase facility agreement to launch SOL-based treasury strategy. What's SOL?
Solana.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then they also had news 33 minutes ago, 2 PRs and 1. Mercurity, Fintech's Chance Securities appointed as strategic advisor. So they got the treasury strategy and they got a leader for the strategy. Interesting. What was their cash flow positive? Is this a SPAC or a D-SPAC? I don't know.
I believe it's like I think they're like kind of one and the same, but I think it's a SPAC. D-SPAC. Was a SPAC, no longer a SPAC.
So what's worrying you here?
Well, let's see if you can figure it out, Dom.
I don't know. Bitcoin news?
Why would I think this one might do well? Based off the catalyst. I'll give you the fucking glaring hint.
It's got to be Bitcoin.
It's got to be Bitcoin. What else has been Bitcoin?
JNVR, CEP.
What else has been Bitcoin? CEP. What else has been Bitcoin? This is the same thing that JNVR is doing. It's the same thing that CEP is doing. It's the same thing that MSTR is doing. It's the same strategy. They're gonna dilute their stock and buy Solana. That's what I understand. And that's what CEP is doing.
Do you believe that trend will run forever?
I don't know. It's just been the past 2 in a row. I'm probably not going to buy it unless it sets up for a breakout because that's what I do. I play patterns, and there is a breakout level on this chart. So that's the only way that's going to get my money. But I don't want to short that. I probably still will because I'm systematic, but
yeah, kind of interesting one. Low across the board in terms of everything. There's really no dilution that I see. It's kind of feels like a China scam in the way that there's not anything to go over. It says they're cash flow positive. You got some buzzwords like Solana. And you have a chart that really doesn't have any resistance overhead. Low-ish float at 8 million. You got that key level, the only real key level on the chart, in my opinion, 274, which I think is what Huddie was alluding to as a breakout level, would be up around 120, 30% into that area. You have all-time highs at 10, but no volume really has traded on this chart besides that day that set this resistance level. So this is pretty fresh as well. You got a potential good catalyst. You got a recent theme of this catalyst working. And some of those stocks that Huddie is alluding to, JNVR, day one goes from 4 to 50, ends up going higher. Now it looks like it wants to break out. So that news had legs. CEP, you're looking at a stock that went from 10 to 40, broke out yesterday, and is tickling up on 50 right now. Does kids have it in it? Does kids have it in it? Does the catalyst continue to have legs? That's what we will find out today. That's what we will find out today, my friends. You and everybody you know, you have to ask yourself, have you hit the thumbs up button? We're at 54. We've already achieved our target and our goal. Can we get that number to 60? It's always a little bit more, right, Huddie?
yeah.
It's Parker says wasn't able to make it to Wine Wednesday. A question for Huddy and Kyle. Kyle's not here. Did you guys reshort WW or did you wait until today to short it? Huddy did not short it. Kyle shorted it twice and lost, and I don't believe he reshorted and will probably short today. Huddy, I believe, shorted in after hours and will short it today.
I shorted after hours. I shorted pre-market. I'll short some more later, but I kind of already have all my size.
He's got all his size for the move, whatever the move ends up being, right?
Yeah.
Right. Adam says, good morning, gents from Sydney, Australia. Great to see you both and hear insights. What time is it in Australia? I know you know, Huddy.
I've actually never been to Australia, but
That
I'd
seems
imagine
like
it's
a scary long flight.
It is scary long. It's not for us Americans.
It's 11:07 p.m. in Canberra.
That's crazy. That's like Japan time.
Japan. Another place
That's like the worst for trading.
No, thank you. I said no, thank you. Aurelia says any active dilution on NVNI. I don't think we went over that, but do you know the answer to that?
I haven't looked.
Do you don't want to know?
I will look because you asked, Ariella.
I guess a question then for the people and for me. Is that something you would even dive into, or at this point it's already good enough of a chart pattern that we don't need that extra level? Or is it always good just to know?
It's just not one that I expect anything dirty to be going on with at the current moment. It's just I don't know. This chart doesn't scream like dilution chart to me. Like it doesn't scream like look into the situation. Usually the situations I really want to look into are the situations I kind of already know, and I just want to make sure that they're still bad. Like I want to see what TNXP is doing. I want to see what Mullen is doing, right? Like a lot of these guys can like have dilution, but like dilution or not, like yeah, you're right. If the chart pattern's good enough, it's gonna fail. So like it's added benefit. You know, NKLA was another good example of one where like I know there's like I want to see the situation. Are they building an agenda for that dilution? Something that's like habitually diluted in the past and they're going to do it again in the future, right? NVNI, I don't know what this is. Like this is a fresh ticker. This is just coming off the lows. This is a dead cat bounce. This is just catching momentum and gapping up. Like I don't need to spend 5 hours looking into the situation here and remember what NVNI is 3 years later. I'm not going to ever see NVNI after the next 2 weeks. I don't think.
Looks like they announced earnings this morning.
Cool.
On day 3 of this run. Interesting. Got some runners. You know, I think we're all complaining. I saw a lot of people's charts and monthly reviews in the room yesterday. A lot of people showing their calendars, their kind of high points and low points. And there was a lot of talk about first red days in general, the idea of them shorting stocks on multi-day runs as being a quite tricky pattern for them. I know Huddy will disagree. We're not here to talk about that right now. But we have had there have been charts that have been there. They might not have done what we want them to do in the way that we want them to do it. But it's hard to ignore that we haven't had CEP, OMAX, WW, NVNI, PONY. There have been extended charts. Maybe not all of them set up perfectly for a long, or even have gotten enough run for reversals. Or have held up in weird ways that don't really fade off. You can't ignore, and this is what me and Huddy, the old adage we always argue. I say the market's not hot. He says, look at these runners. I say those runners suck though. And it's, you know, it's a back and forth, but it's like, you can't argue that we have multi-day charts right now. C says, did Jack Kellogg ever participate in the Clover chat? He's allowed to. There's times throughout the year where he's in there trading pretty aggressively and sharing his ideas and such, but he has no obligation to. So anything we get from him, we are just grateful for. Throne says, Adam, that's a rough time zone. Where is Tim Grattani? He's working on a new course. God, you guys have a lot of questions about other people that we don't know. Is he working on a new course? I doubt it. Do you think he is? Do you know if he is?
The last time I talked to him, he said he pulled all of his money out of all of his trading accounts and is not trading.
So,
and that was like 2 weeks ago.
Maybe we need to get him on a Wine Wednesday, a little refresher, talk about data. You know,
I don't think he wants to talk about stocks right now.
All right, you guys, he doesn't want to stop asking about him. He doesn't want to talk about stocks. Fernando says, is there any play for NAOV? You know what, Fernando? I don't know. Why don't you give me a little insight as to what you want to do with it? If you want a yes or no answer from me, the answer is a hard and fast no. If you want to ask Huddie, I believe with almost 99.99% certainty, the answer is a hard and fast no. But when you just say, is there a play? Any play for NAOV, I could give you $1 million, right? It could be a long, could be a short, could be a long, then a short, then a long, could be a scalp, could be a big picture buy. I don't know. Does this fit any criteria for what I'm trying to do in the markets from what you guys know about me? No. Does it fit any criteria for what you know about us, about Huddie in his strategies? No. It's up 48%, sure. But like it's a gap and crap from, I'm guessing a gap and crap then reverse split, because I don't remember this one being 14. Maybe it was. Maybe this one was. But has faded off since. Literally spent the last 4 days diving from 5 to 2 and is gapping up today. There is no pattern for me here. Don't think there's a pattern for Huddie here. All I want to do every single day and every single week as a trader is prioritize my list of stocks to put me in the best position for success by putting myself in trades that have data behind them, that have years of success, that I have tons of experience with, that I can feel good about winning 40 or 50% of the time on. You force me to trade NAOV. Like, I don't know where I would start. Don't know where I'd start. So, is there any play? My answer is no. Which means there's your biggest runner of the day. If I say that ever, that's like a 400% runner. Ooh, Rat says, guys, I love these videos. The Wine Wednesday series, it's absolute class. I don't think you're American if you say that. I think that's a different term, isn't it? But I like it. I like the adjective. We are class. Put your pinkies up. Jay Bland says, bought MVNI yesterday at 48 cents. Scaling out now. Congratulations. It's a nice overnight gapper. Nice overnight gapper. Jordan says to Huddie, could you elaborate on the specific issues you've been dealing with recently in regards to the size of your losses compared to your wins and the solution you came up with?
Feels like more of like a webinar question than a Good Morning Nasdaq.
Give us the bullet points. You got 1 minute. Give me two issues.
I can't.
You can't?
No. Ask me in the webinar. Sign up for Clover. Ask me in the webinar.
We're being in the webinar in 2 minutes.
That's where we have to go.
Right, last question. Emilio says, HTZ, am I interested for a first green day? No. And why, Huddie? Give me one sentence.
Because it's not a first green day.
Hey, oh, how true. Don't label patterns that aren't patterns. That's rule 1 of having good data. Like it ran basically 100%.
Pick up a pattern for the pattern that you want it to be.
You can't. I don't buy reversals for screen days, whatever it is. Even if this was a 700% run from 4 to, I can't do that math. Jeez Louise, 4 to 40. And then we spent 10 days going sideways, or 5 or 6, whatever this is, and then rolled over and broke down. I would not be interested. It needs to be the initial pull off of the spike. So if I was really interested, yeah.
It's like I always say, a walrus is a walrus. You can't call a squirrel a walrus. It's just not right. It's just like, what? What are you talking about? That's a walrus, not a squirrel.
You can't.
And like, until you understand that statement, you shouldn't be trading, in my opinion.
You got to know your own patterns, or else you're just going to start trading anything. You know, this is it, guys, right here. I'm drawing it on the chart. Hopefully you can see. Boom. Not this.
All right, Dom, we got to go.
I know, but I'm almost done my drawing. That is
Stop
not
with the
it.
drawing. It's not arts and crafts.
I'm having fun.
You have a trade coming in like T-minus 10 seconds. Stop
all
drawing.
right, everybody. We will see you tomorrow morning to round out this week, this technicality. Another week. We're on the second week of the week, first week of the month. We will see you there. If you have any other questions, we'll be in our webinar. We'll be live, ready to go here in about 20 seconds. So join us over there at clovertrain.io. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all the subscribes. Appreciate all the viewership. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Have a great start to your May. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Sunny and early. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.